Hey there, Sparkrock community. We're back with another release for Sparkrock Impact. Employee banking details are some of the most sensitive information in your payroll system. A change to an employee's direct deposit account decides where their pay lands, so an incorrect or unauthorized update can send money to the wrong place. Until now, those details could be edited directly on the employee record as long as the user has permissions, with no built-in review step. Well, in this release, we're introducing a full employee bank account change request process, a controlled, auditable workflow that makes sure that every direct deposit change is reviewed and approved before it takes effect. So in this video, we'll cover the change approval setup for employee bank accounts, how to request an employee bank account change, what happens when a request is submitted, and what happens when a request is approved, rejected, or canceled. Let's get started. This new feature is gated behind a single setting, so nothing changes for you until you're ready. Navigate to the Finance Approval Setup page, and you'll see a new Employee Bank Change document type. By default, it's disabled, so while it's off, Employee Direct Deposit account changes behave exactly as they do today. Before enabling the Employee Bank Change setting, a Finance Approval Rule needs to be created. Select Related, and then Finance Approval Rules. Create an approval rule with the new approval type Employee Bank Change, set your approvers, and then select Enabled for the new approval rule. Then you can return to Finance Approval Setup and enable the new Employee Bank Change setting. Now, one important effect of enabling this setting, the direct deposit section of the payroll employee card becomes read-only. It means that every change needs to go through the approval workflow instead of letting somebody quietly edit an account. If you turn the setting back off, direct edits are restored. Because each change request is tracked as its own document, it needs its own document number. So before you create your first request, go to Purchases and Payable Setup and open the Number Series Fast tab. You'll find a new field called Employee Bank Account Change Number Series. Create the new number series and make sure it's selected. There's one more piece working behind the scenes. When you enabled Employee Bank Change in Finance Approval Setup, the system also enabled a matching workflow, the Employee Bank Account Change Request Approval workflow. That's available on the Workflow Setup page. There's nothing you need to do with it here. It will be used behind the scenes, but if for whatever reason you or a consultant needed to refer to it, here it is. Now that setup's done, here's how your team actually makes a change to an employee's direct deposit details. Open the employee card for the employee that you're working with. Under the Navigate menu, you'll see a new option, Maintain Direct Deposits. This action only shows up when the feature is enabled. If the employee has existing change requests, it will take you to the new Employee Bank Account Change Request list page. Otherwise, the first time it will take you straight to a new request. You can also navigate directly to this Employee Bank Account Change Request page. Each row shows the employee, the action type, the status, who requested it, and the approval timing, so you can see at a glance where everything stands. When you open a new or existing request, you'll see an action type first. Are you adding a new bank account, modifying an existing one, or deleting one? Then you select the employee the request applies to. Now, one thing worth noting, a single request handles one action type only, so if you need to add an account and delete another for the same employee, those go on separate lines. In the direct deposit details section, you then enter the banking lines for the request, and a request can include more than one direct deposit account, so you can capture everything that belongs to this change in one place. And every request requires a comment, so there's always a reason on record for why this change is being made. When the request is ready, select Send Approval Request. At this point, the system runs its validations. If anything's off, you'll get a message telling you what to fix. And there's also a payroll-specific safeguard here. The system won't let a bank account change move forward while the employee is tied up in an active payroll batch. Once it passes validation, the system stamps the audit details, who created and submitted the request, and when, and routes the request to the approvers you have configured during setup. Once a request reaches an approver, they review it like any other approval in the system. And from here, there's 3 ways it can go. If they approve it, the system applies the change automatically. You don't have to go back and key anything in. The audit trail records the approval and when it happened. If approver rejects the request, the change is not applied. The request goes back open, so it's not gone. Your team can then correct what the approver flagged and resubmit it rather than having to start over from scratch. Canceling is a little different. If the submitter decides to pull the request back while it's still pending, they can cancel it. The request is closed out as canceled. notes who canceled it and when that was recorded, and unlike a rejection, a cancel request isn't reopened for editing, it's done with the full audit trail intact. In all three cases, the employee's actual banking details only ever change on an approval. A reject or a cancel always leaves the existing details exactly as they were. So that's a wrap on this Sparkrock release. This release adds a controlled, configurable approval workflow for every employee bank account change, add, modify, or delete. It locks down direct edits to employee direct deposit details, routing every change through review instead. It protects pay runs by preventing bank changes while an employee is in an active payroll batch and applies approved changes automatically. And it gives finance, payroll, and audit teams a full traceable history of every banking change request. And it's all only active if you turn it on in Finance Approval Setup, so you can adopt it whenever your team is ready. So be sure to review the full release notes, and thank you so much for watching.